Misinformation has newly been labelled as terrorism by the Department of Homeland Security, so I'm going to speak very carefully now. Hello there, you 5 million awakening wonders, you miracles, you glorious lights of the Lord. Now, let's just be very careful how we talk, because misinformation ain't just now an inconvenience. If you're the wrong person and the misinformation is the wrong type of misinformation, malinformation, disinformation, then you're actually the same as a terrorist. I mean, I remember thinking the word terrorism was getting used in increasingly peculiar ways. Well, now it's actually just being inaccurate, or not even inaccurate, disagreeing with a certain set of principles and ideas. So from now on, these videos will be edited very carefully. Let's have a look at the story and see what its impact is likely to be on all of us. There is a not so subtle push happening right now to increase the Department of Homeland Security's role in combating misinformation. Occasionally I see a news story that reminds me of things that I heard from certain dystopian provocateurs who you won't see on the internet as much these days, who said increasingly nations will be seeking to control information, increase police powers, that we'll be moving into a more and more Orwellian state of affairs, and labelling misinformation as terrorism. I mean, look at the root of it. Firstly, people are just saying stuff. Then the term misinformation appears. Then the term terrorism starts getting applied to the label misinformation. I mean, haven't we got the right to make mistakes without being regarded as terrorists? I hope so. The White House has begun an extraordinary assault on free speech in America. It's no longer content merely to force social media companies to suppress dissenting views. It appears to be setting the stage to use federal police powers. In its latest terrorism threat bulletin, Thursday, what do we get on Thursday? Our latest terrorism threat bulletin. Dun, 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 dun. Everything's terrorism now. Sit still, don't think, don't move about, otherwise you could be a terrorist. It listed unsubstantiated claims about COVID and election fraud as the two main sources of misinformation. But what misinformation about COVID? Is it the changing information I think all of us experienced? And what about with election fraud? Which election and which fraud? There's no consideration that there might be legitimate mistrust in government because, for example, people in the Senate and Congress own shares in companies which profit from bills that they legislate. How about getting rid of that? People are not trustworthy. Dun, 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 new bulletin. Everything's terrorism now. How about creating an environment where trust in the government makes sense?